famous for his work to crack the Enigma code, which helped defeat Nazi Germany. But instead of being treated like a hero, the Prime Minister has said he was treated terribly. Gordon Brown has offered a posthumous apology to the code breaker, who committed suicide after being prosecuted for homosexuality. Our correspondent Robert Hall reports from Bletchley Park, where Alan Turing worked.
His brilliance made him a wartime hero, but recognition came later for Alan Turing. Life at Bletchley Park was far from the glamour eventually depicted by Hollywood. The codebreakers based in these surviving buildings lived and worked in high secrecy away from public view. Even then, Alan Turing was recognised as a key player in the operation to crack German codes. This is the Enigma machine now displayed at Bletchley, capable of creating millions of code combinations. Alan Turing led the team which built a giant machine known as the bomb, a distant ancestor of computers, and by 1940 they'd begun to break the codes and to turn the fortunes of war.
Anybody who turns on a laptop or a PC these days, underneath, deep inside their laptop or PC, is a Alan Turing machine. So it's played a profound effect on our everyday lives.
But Alan Turing had his own secret. He was homosexual, and in 1952 he was convicted of an act of gross indecency, in effect tried for being gay, and forced to undergo female hormone treatment, a form of chemical castration. He committed suicide at his home in Manchester 2 years later. Now the Prime Minister, writing on the Downing Street website, has admitted Alan Turing was treated inhumanely, adding, "His treatment was of course utterly unfair, and I am pleased to have the chance to say how deeply sorry I and we all are for what happened to him." Alan Turing's work here and in the development of computers after the war was quite simply extraordinary. Now at last his country's given him the gratitude and the apology he deserved.
Robert Hall reporting. Well, we can speak to Alan Turing's niece, Ina Payne, who joins us now from North London. Good afternoon. How important is this apology for you and your family?
It's very important. We're extremely proud of my uncle. That is, my children and my grandchildren, all very, very proud of his achievement. And we felt that he was treated really badly towards the end of his life. He was hounded. And so we're very, very grateful for this apology. And I just wish that my uncle could be alive today to be aware of it.
How well did you know him? What do you remember about your uncle?
Well, he was extremely kind and gentle, and he was rather eccentric, very eccentric actually, and he was shabby and he had a stammer, and he was a really kind uncle.
But he was brilliant in almost every aspect of his life, wasn't he? I was reading that he was an Olympic standard runner, rower, as well as a brilliant academic as well.
That's right, but of course we weren't really aware of his achievements. I was only a child when he was alive. But yes, he was a runner, and he used to run down from London, have a meal with my parents in Guildford and run back again. And he also took my younger sister and myself to the British Olympics in 1948. We were pretty bored by it, but we both remember him doing that.
Did he ever talk about his work at Bletchley Park?
Well, we weren't aware of it for years, but of course it was all completely top secret and hush-hush. For 30 years after the end of the war, no one knew about it. But yes, we talk about it now, and I've been to Bletchley Park, and we're just incredibly proud of him. And
just very briefly, I mean, you said he was hounded at the end of his life, he took his own life. How much did that mean to him, do you think, the fact that he was prosecuted for homosexuality, that he should be forced to kill himself?
I'm sure it probably contributed to his suicide, undoubtedly. And it's just shameful that he was treated like that, such a great man.
Ina Payne, thank you very much for speaking to us about your uncle.
Time now for a check on the weather. Here's Simon King.
Hi Sue, hi Tim, good afternoon. Well, the weather is again very